Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us go through operator precedence grammar, guys. Okay, so basically this grammar is used for scientific applications, guys. So basically if you are having a scientific calculator or any kind of calculator that will be doing various operations, right? So that operations are done with the help of these kind of grammars, guys. So basically what we enter in it, so it will be analyzing it and it will be doing the solution for it. Yes. Okay, so the two main conditions for this grammar to be operator precedence is nothing but if any grammar passes the conditions below. So basically the grammar should not contain any epsilon production, so anything should not be equal to epsilon. So if it is there, it is not operator precedence grammar, guys. So no two non-terminals should be adjacent to each other. No two non-terminals should be adjacent to each other. So basically a b should not be beside to beside. Okay, yes. Okay, so if you take a small examples here, so S implies capital A, capital B, A implies a small a and B implies a small b. So this is wrong, right? So here there are two beside. Whereas S implies a capital A, AB, A implies epsilon. So once you see in the epsilon, you need to cancel it. Okay. Similarly, S implies capital A, AB, okay, past, A, B, past, small a, past. Similarly, here S implies AOB and INT. So INT is something which is INT. So that's also not past, guys. Okay. Yes. So I hope everyone got some basic idea about operator precedence grammar. So now let us construct an operator precedence grammar for a particular grammar, guys. Okay. Okay. So initially the grammar is given as E implies EAA or ID. Okay. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Okay, I think it should be E only. EAE or ID. Okay, so A implies a plus or multiplication and our required string is ID plus ID into ID. Okay, so first let us convert the grammar into operator precedence grammar. So you need to convert, whenever you want to convert, substitute all the possible expressions, guys. So basically this plus can be pushed here and this plus can be pushed here. Sorry, multiplication can be pushed here. So E implies E plus E or E into E or ID, right? Yes. So now we got the operator precedence grammar and that operator precedence grammar is passing our requirement, right? Yes. So step 2. Step 2 is nothing but construct the operator precedence table. So basically operator precedence table is nothing but a matrix representation of rows containing the terminals and columns also containing the terminals. So ID plus into dollar. Okay. Okay, so for this solution, you need to understand few concepts, guys. So ID is never equal to ID. So you cannot write any condition in between ID and ID, guys. Okay, so if there are two pluses, plus is greater than plus, guys. This plus is greater than this. This multiplication is greater than this multiplication. Okay, and ID has the highest precedence and dollar has the lowest precedence. Okay, and dollar. So dollar is nothing but accepted. So these are the conditions, you can say. Okay, so based on these conditions, you'll be filling the table. So ID has a more precedence, right? So ID will be always a greater. ID will be always a greater. Okay. Similarly, dollar has the least precedence, so it will be having always a less. Okay. Okay. Yes. So when you compare with the plus, I told you it will be greater than, and plus with into will be greater, plus with the dollar will be greater. Okay, sorry, I think it's wrong. Dollar will be lesser, right? Just give me a second, guys. Yes, dollar will be lesser. Okay, let it be for now because that could lead to a confusion when we are solving the below parse string. Okay, so let it be for now. Okay, so into and ID has more preference. Into and plus, into has high preference. Okay, so into has high preference. Into and dollar, into has high preference. So dollar has the least preference of all. Okay, I am confused with this plus. So plus with ID is greater. Plus with plus, this plus is greater. Plus with into is greater. Plus with the dollar, I think plus should be greater, guys. I'm not sure, but okay, let it be for now. Okay. Okay. So let us now try parsing. So basically parsing again the same stack operation, guys. Okay. So stack, it is nothing but dollar ID. So basically on dollar on ID, what will be the operation, guys? So dollar ID. So dollar ID. So it is nothing but greater than operation, right? Sorry, it should be dollar ID. It is less than operation. So less than. Okay, so less than operation is nothing but shift ID, guys. Okay, so you pushed this id. Okay, so again id with the plus. So id with the plus, it is a greater than. So whenever there is a greater than, you'll be reducing it, guys. So reducing e to id. Okay, so you reduced it. So again you are checking with the dollar with plus. So basically e is a non-terminal or non-terminal. It is non-terminal. Hence you cannot check it in the table. So basically that is the reason why you'll be checking dollar with the plus. So dollar with the plus is nothing but less than. So less than means there is no operation. So shift positive. So positive with id. So positive with id is also less than. So we wrote less than. So it is directly shift id. So again id with the star. So id with the star is a greater than. So you need to you need to reduce this id to e. Okay, so again now this e cannot be checked with this star. So plus into star. So plus with the star is less than. So just shift. Similarly, you will be continuing, guys. Okay. So star into id. So star into id. So it is less than. Okay, less than. Okay. Similarly, you will be converting this id into id, and e into id is nothing but you'll be reducing it into e. So this whole part will be reduced to e, and e plus e is reduced to e. So if you notice here, dollar with the dollar is nothing but accept. So we accepted it. Okay. So again, you can generate the parse tree based on the exact steps which we followed, guys. Okay. Yes. So I hope everyone got a clear idea on the concept of operator precedence parser, right? Okay. So in the next lecture, we'll be discussing about the Yak, guys. So basically Yak is nothing but yet another compiler, and it is used to generate the parse trees, guys. Okay. So in the next lecture, we'll be going in detail about Yak. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks for watching.